In America, students spend approximately 12 years in secondary and primary school, in which we've all learned things we thought was useless. A survey conducted by H&R Block asked Americans about their school and growing up. As a result of that survey, 84% of Americans say they have learned things in school that they've never had to utilize in real life. I'm a college student living on my own, and I feel like school did not prepare me for the real world, and I'm sure many of you can relate. Today, I will be talking about how schools should change the education system and teach more life skills. I'll explain how the school system works now. I will then talk about how the school system isn't setting students up for success. And lastly, I will talk about what needs to change in America's education system. In America's schools, we have learned how to read and write, mathematics, history, and science. Students go to school Monday through Friday and sit in a classroom for 6+ hours a day, while teachers teach the Common Core. An outline of what students should know in math and English by the end of each grade level. Throughout the year, students are given grades which are on a scale A through F in percentages 0 to 100 to show if they are learning the Common Core. The American education system also requires students to take an end-of-year test of everything they learned that school year. If they pass, they advance to the next grade. If they fail, they must repeat the grade. The Common Core fits a lot of information in the year to learn, which sometimes results in teachers speeding up lessons and not leaving enough time for students to actually process what they are learning. What the education system isn't fitting in time for teachers to teach is important life skills. With students having a mindset of learning for a good grade, it is not students up for success. I'm sure most of us remember going to school and thinking, when am I ever going to need to use this after this class? And most of the time, we haven't had to use it. James Stigler and James Hebert, writers from the Free Press, go in depth on teaching techniques from around the world. In their study, Japan teaches structured problem solving and teachers refine the lessons, while in America, students learn terms and demonstrate procedures in a non-interactive way. In their study, they conclude that Japan has the most skillful and purposeful teaching. Elena Z, an American student from Hogwarts High School, stresses about school not preparing her. She states, "I barely understand credit and they expect me to be perfectly fine living alone a year from now." Elena also asked the New York Times, why do we dedicate our high school lives to studying equations we'll never use? And why do exams on pointless topics determine our entire future? Elena brings up a great point in how the American education system isn't setting up students for success, and many other students feel the same way. So what does the American school system need to fix? Market research firm One Poll conducted a survey that an average American only uses 37% of what they learned in school. So now, why not take the other 63% of that information and turn it into useful things for a student to know? Useful things such as how to find a job, time management, budgeting, taxes, and so many more life skills. At Tahoe Expedition Academy, a school in Truckee, California, they teach hands-on learning to prepare students for the real world. The school helps students develop critical thinking, decision-making, and the ability to engage with one another in the world. While the school doesn't teach for the test, students still outperform national averages in standardized tests and learn great life skills. If all American schools added these teaching techniques, it would set students up for success in the real world. To conclude, American education system isn't teaching life skills to prepare students for the real world. The world is constantly changing, and it's time for the education system to change too. As discussed earlier, the Common Core and teaching for the test isn't productive. In addition to that, the American education system isn't setting students up for success, while countries such as Japan are teaching beneficial life skills. Lastly, if the American education system changed to teach more life skills, it would help prepare students for the real world.